Hello again, everybody. Red of Half Century Collecting Sports Cards here with another edition of my favorite 400 cards. The last time I did this, it was the Father's Day edition. These were the cards shown with significance kind of growing up and with my kids. We are now in the low 200s, and we're going with a 1960 card of Hank Aaron, but not one of these real cool Topps cards, but instead a regional issue card. 1960 Lake to Lake dairy card of Hank Aaron. Now, Lake to Lake was a Wisconsin dairy company that in 1960, from April to June, they stapled these cards, I think really gorgeous cards, to half-gallon cardboard milk cartons. So all the cards that were in circulation ended up with a little staple mark there, which means when they got graded, they ended up with ones. There are some uncirculated ones with higher grades, but when I went for this card, I really wanted to get one with the staple mark. That's just the way they came. The other way that you can see them sometimes is with a little punch out in the corner, and that's because these cards were intended to be redeemed, as you can see on the back of this card, for different kinds of prizes. You need quite a few cards to get those prizes, but you got some pretty cool prizes when you got them. So I have seen some for sale with a little punch out, but it's a pretty rare card in any condition to get. SGC is only graded 17 of the Aarons, and PSA is graded 40, and that's all grades. So not one that you find very often, but I think one of Aaron's coolest cards and one of his rarest cards. Next, we're going to show a 1938 Gaudy card, and that's that heads up edition, and this is Joe Ducky Medwick. Now, Medwick was the MVP of this 37 season, so it's coming off this 38 card. That year he had 237 hits, 56 doubles, 31 homers, 154 RBIs, 374 batting average, 641 slugging percentage, and 8.4 WAR. All of those stats led the league, which is why he ended up with an MVP award. The year prior to this, even, he had 64 doubles. Now, he's a longtime Cardinal left fielder, and he finished his career in 1948 with almost 2,500 hits, over 200 homers, 324 batting average, and 54.5 WAR. Of note, he's the only player ever thrown out of a World Series game just for his own safety, and that was because he was a real hard-nosed player, and he had a triple where he had a really hard slide into third, taking out the third baseman. And after that play, the fans started pelting him with fruits and vegetables. And so finally, the commissioner decided, and this is the seventh game of the World Series, we just had to remove him from the game. After the game, Medwick said, I see why the fans, were throwing all that stuff at me, because that was a pretty dirty slide, but I just can't figure why they brought fruits and vegetables to the game in the first place. Next card on the list is a card from my childhood. My favorite football player as I was a kid, somebody I tried to emulate catching passes, and this is USC's Lynn Swann here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is his rookie card. He was my favorite player, not just for the acrobatic catches, but for his role he played on Superstars, which is a show we always used to watch. I'm going to go ahead and show a cool catch he had in Super Bowl 10. He actually had a couple all in one half.
The blitz is on for Dallas. The Steelers picked it up. Lynn Swann out there. What a catch by Lynn Swann.
I think that was one of his more famous catches. And then let's get up here.
Mark Washington with it again.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and show his work on Superstars. So Superstars, for those who know, was a cool show that ran in the winter when there wasn't a whole lot of action going on.
Final of the obstacle course, and Greg Pruitt is back in the competition against Lynn Swann.
Of some of the best athletes. This is from 1979, showing him running the obstacle course.
This will be fun for Greg Pruitt, and I got a feeling Bob Bucher, the Lynn Swann's going for the record. I tell you, Frank, this has been such a great competition, and what a way to wind it up. Pruitt against Swann in the final. Oh, did you see Lynn Swann over the wall, through the tunnel, in the sled, now the tires. Greg Pruitt staying right with him. Look at Swan, and oh, good, knocks off the bar. He will not defeat Swan, and Swan's going to be close to a record. Lynn Swan did not have one mistake, and we'll wait for the time.
So I remember we had a Cub Scout obstacle course based on these Superstar All-Star courses, and I trained for that thing. I wanted to win that thing, and I remember when I came in second, I was so disappointed. But Lynn Swan was my big-time man, just from not only his NFL playing, but from what he did on Superstars and running this obstacle course. You can actually find other ones on YouTube. That was one from 79, but there's one from 76 where it's the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Cincinnati Reds, and they got Swan going against Joe Morgan on the All-Star course. The Reds actually won that over the Steelers, which tells you what good athletes baseball players actually are. All right, let's keep going here. We got 1967, and I had to go with a Willie Mays. I did one last time too, but since his passing, we had to throw another card in there of Mays, and this is one of my favorite Mazes. Here he's 35, so kind of slightly aging, but still a superstar, which you can see from the back of his card. Year before that, hit 52 homers at year 37. Still just a great player, over 500 career home runs at that time, ended with 660, but love that card. You can see just the joy with which he played the game on his face in that card, and that's why that's one of my favorite cards of the Say Hey Kid. All right, now we're going to move back to 1934. This is a Gaudy, and it's Heine Manouche, a guy who never won an MVP, but finished second twice, finished third twice, including the 33 season, which this card is coming off of. He's a career .330 hitter, over 2,500 career hits. Was a left-handed left fielder, and he finished with 48 career WAR. Heine Manouche, we'll show the back of that 34 Gaudy card. All right, next we got another one of my favorite players growing up, the Hit Machine, Al Oliver. This is his first full card. He did have a 69 that he shared with Richie Hebner, a couple of really good Pirates there that got together on a card. But Oliver, he had 2,743 career hits, over 200 homers, 303 career average. So some of the better numbers for a non-Hall of Famer. And then you can see the back of my year of my favorite backs, 1970 tops. And last, the second baseman of the Tinkers to Evers to Chance double play combination, Johnny Evers. Now, Johnny Evers was 5'9" and 125 pounds. And he wasn't a great hitter. He was an okay hitter, 270 lifetime average. But good on-base guy, 356. And he only hit 12 career home runs. But he was a really good defensive second baseman. He might not have gotten into the Hall of Fame if not for the poem, but he was probably a better player than the first baseman, Frank Chance. He had 12 years there with the Cubs, and then first year with the Boston Braves, 1914, he ended up winning a MVP award as his team won the World Series that year. And the team that won the World Series over had a pitching staff with 3 Hall of Famers. Eddie Plank, Chief Bender, Herb Pennock, and besides that, another 200-game winner that's not in the Hall of Fame, Joe Bush. So quite a pitching staff, but Johnny Evers and the Boston Braves defeated the Philadelphia Athletics that season of 1914. All right, that's all I've got for today. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.